Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House in Springfield, Vermont. I am one of the trustees of the Board of Trustees. And it's a gorgeous morning out there after our little bit of rain that we had yesterday. I want to welcome you to our service this morning. We had a lovely May Fest yesterday that the rain held off just in time, and it was lovely. We had a wonderful time yesterday, and I don't know how much money we made, but I think the plant sale made a nice amount. And so I want to welcome you to our service this morning in person. We have a nice group this morning, and if you're on Zoom, welcome to you too. We have a nice service planned, and we have a lovely new person, not new, but we haven't seen her for a while, Robbin Ruffner from Georgia. Hi, Robbin, yay. And I think that's it.
And now these words from thinking like a mountain toward a council of all beings. Remember again and again in that the old cycles of partnership, draw on them in this time of trouble. By your very nature and the journey you have made, there is in you deep knowledge of belonging. Draw on it now in this time of fear. You have earth-bred wisdom of your interexistence with all that is. Take courage and power in it now, that we may help each other awaken in this time of peril. And we have Robbin Ruffner to offer us a prayer blessing.
Good morning. I just invite you to turn inward with me for a moment into that very secret, sacred place of the Most High God, that inner sanctuary where we truly feel and sense and know that there is but one life. And yes, there is an interconnectedness with all of life. And we just tap into and feel this power and this presence, knowing that it is everywhere present. And being everywhere present, it is right in the midst of us. So we just allow ourselves to breathe in this magnificent, beneficent, all-powerful spirit. As we move into this service this day, I know that it is blessed and a blessing as we just throw ourselves wide open to pure spirit, knowing that something magnificent has already prepared a place and a space for us to move into with ease and grace, so that we may indeed tap into that wisdom that was ours before the beginning of time and will be with us throughout all of time. That wisdom that is sourced by pure spirit. And so what I know is that this entire service is already is already in divine and perfect order. So we step into something that has already been established, good and very, very good. I bless each and every participant here this morning, knowing that we are another way in which the whole of life has come forth to express in a most magnificent way. I know that this ceremony that we participate in this day is truly a divine interplay of spirit with itself. And we just move deeper and more expansive than we've ever gone before as we tap into how we are all connected to not only one another, but all of life, the plant life, the animal kingdom, and all of life itself. For undergirding all of this is pure spirit. So I just call this time together good and very good, and we simply allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Robbin.
The next thing we have for you is our story for all ages. This is a really special story. It's a book called Thank You, Earth. And while I have a copy of this book right here with me, what I'm going to do is actually show you a video, which is the author herself reading the book, which I think is pretty special. So just a moment and we will have oh, how interesting. I can't find it. Give me a second. Love technology. There it is.
There it is.
Okay. And here we go.
Hello, my name is April Pulley Sayer, and I'm a writer. I love to write the words in books, and I also illustrate some of my books. I like to illustrate not with paint or with pencils, but with light, and that kind of art is called photography. So I took the photos in this book, Thank You, Earth, and I'm going to share it with you today. Dear Earth, thank you for water and those that float, for slippery seaweed and stone. Thank you for mountains and minerals that strengthen bills and bone. Thank you for air, even fishy whale breath. Thank you for colors and coastlines and beach. Thank you for tiny and towering, for trees and vines that reach. Thank you for curves and prickles and parallels, for patterns, all shapes that repeat. Thank you for leaves and stems and buds, for plant parts we can eat. Thank you for sounds and storms and seasons, for struggles and pale in-betweens. Thank you for rays and radials and overlapping greens. Thank you for jumbles, for ingredients for soil and bright new growth in spring. Thank you for those that crawl, yes, all, even those that sting. Thank you for sunsets, for sky room for birds, for edges eyes can roam. Thank you for beginnings, for endings, for lifetimes. Thank you for being our home. Thank you, readers. I hope that you have a wonderful spring, summer, fall, winter, the whole year and your whole life long.
Well, it would seem easy to follow that with our affirmation. Please join with me. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the needs of all beings, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and the source of our being. And we will follow that with our offering or gifts to the church and also to Food for the Family Center.
We get to sing one of my favorite songs. I have many, but this is one of them, written by a duo called Mammoose. We Shall Be Known. It's not in the hymnal, but the words will be up here, and you're welcome to stand and sing along.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
I have a reading for us before we start our Council of All Beings. The Worship and Arts Committee discussed that sometimes when a Council of All Beings happens and we're speaking for other beings, and not necessarily even living beings, but for rocks and mountains, that we can have really emotional things come up. And we discussed this a little bit a couple months ago when we were talking about earth holding, and Anne Marie led us in that wonderful Earth Holders meditation. And one of the sections of that was talking about feeling our responsibility for things that are not right on our planet, and experiencing grief even, because without going through the grief that we will have if we tune in and recognize what our own personal responsibility has been, if we don't go through that, we can't come out on the other side and be as effective as we would like to be in raising awareness and in raising spirit for our planet. So I have one reading for you, and I just want to say, even though I'm up on the wall and you're all there in the circle, we're all in this circle together, and that if you have things that come up, you're in safe company. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. And that was, the author is Starhawk from Dreaming the Dark.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you so much. I am so happy to be here. Yeah, I'm just so happy. Oh my goodness, I feel so like, in a way, I feel very emotional. Just to be among this wonderful, wonderful group of friends, and this community has been very special. And you all know that because you're in this community. Speaking up. Thank you. I have to remember to speak up a little bit. I'm not used to projecting anymore. I haven't done actually a live sacred circle of any kind since I retired about 3.5 years ago. It's really lovely to be here in so many ways. No, what am I here for? I am here to welcome you to join in a Council of All Beings. This is a communal ritual experience that was created by Joanna Macy several decades ago. And the purpose of this council is to broaden our experience of being here on Mother Earth and living with other beings, with other elements, and being to acknowledge that we live together, and there is good stewardship that is asked of us human beings. So today, I'm going to ask you to sort of stand back a little bit from your human beingness and invite you to imagine yourself as an element, an entity, a being that is in our natural world. Some of you may have had an experience like this already. Sometimes it happens naturally. You're out, you're in the water and you feel like water. You're in the woods and you feel like wind. Maybe you have a favorite creature, comes to you in a dream, but an affinity and perhaps a familiarity with a being that is non-human. And that's what I'm going to ask you to let yourself sink into a little bit today. How the council works, according to Joanna Macy. Just want to hold this. This is one of her first books that I ever read. Coming Back to Life, Practices to Reconnect Our Lives and Our World. And it has wonderful meditations. It has that earth holding that I did some months ago. She's very inspiring. She's a Buddhist, she's an environmentalist, and she's an activist. And she's in her 90s and she's still holding ceremony and holding ritual. Inspiring so many. I'll just read a few words from how she describes this. I'll start by, when I start the council, I will start by inviting you to breathe and sink in to whichever non-human being, entity, element that speaks to you. And then I will sit amongst you after a brief time of sinking in and breathing. I will play the heartbeat on the drum and just allow us to kind of sink a little. Then I will sit amongst you and I'll hold this talking stick right here, right?
Can I say a word about it?
Say a word about the song. Please do.
This morning I thought, oh, right, we need a talking stick. And Dan has a bit of a memory of this. Probably 30 years ago, Bob Staley Mays, now Wells, but he was Bob then, brought down some Cree native people from northern Quebec who were protesting the hydro dams. And they brought some spoons they had carved. You can see this has had its initiation by fire, but it's good for stirring the pot.
Can you show it on Zoom? There we go.
Well, let's see.
Yep, you got it.
There.
Yep.
So I will pass that when I begin to start the council with words. And it has a form whereby you introduce yourself, if you choose to, introduce yourself as your non-being entity. And I'll pass it to the right, and then you will speak for whichever entity you choose, and creature that you choose. And of course, not everyone is moved to speak, just to be witness. And so you can pass it along if that is your choice. You can pass it on. So
Do you want to mention the inner and outer circle?
I do. I was just going to go there. So what we thought was those of you who would like to sink into being, non-human being, would sit in the inner circle where Sharon is, and Oliver, and Dick, Dan. So in the inner circle, we'll have the beings who choose to be at the council. And the outer circle will bear witness, because that is the second part of this ceremony, is that we have a chance to reflect what we've heard from the beings among us. This is just a few words from Joanna Macy's description of this. Breathing easily, begin to let yourself feel how it is to take body in this new life form. What shape are you? How much space do you take up now? What is your skin or outer surface like? How do you take notice of what is around you? How do you move? How are you moved? Do you make any sounds? Play with these images and sensations. And if you feel so moved, move a little bit before we actually start talking. If you feel like you'd like to be in the inner circle, please come to the inner circle now. And if you feel like you'd like to bear witness, you can sit in the outer circle. Wherever you choose to sit, you can change and you can pass and you can stay right where you are. So I'm going to just play the drum for a little bit while we sink in. The idea is that it is a heartbeat, just a rhythm to allow us to realize how connected we are in life to all beings. I don't know how this is going to come across on Zoom. So I won't be playing it for a long time. And I'll also play this a little bit at the end before we come back here as ourselves. I sit amongst you now as river. I speak for river. I am water. I am movement. I am minerals. I nurture multitudes. I move multitudes. Now my concern is at this time, this present time, that I'm so unpredictable, more so than usual. I'm flooding, I'm drying up in places. And I need your help. We need your help to stay clean, to stay healthy, to stay moving. Thank you.
I speak to you today as willow tree. My essence is to bend in the wind, to give home to birds, to insects, to give shade. I have children climbing my branches and squealing with joy. I've been here a long time. I have seen many changes. My concern is that the weather is changing. Things are not as they used to be. They're more out of balance. I call to humans to take notice and to act to change so that we can bring things back into balance.
Well, I am expressing for the toads that have been a big part of my life around. And yes, toads, we toads, we live, very, very close to the ground. And it's a beautiful, amazing environment, lush and just incredible with life. And we feel fortunate for the most part. But there's something that we just don't understand. And I think that we toads speak for most all other life on this planet, that there are these huge, big monster things that come whizzing so fast when you are in this certain place that seems clear and a good place to walk. And then all of a sudden it's whoosh, and you might be crushed. And so we don't get it, and we don't understand why any other life on this planet needs to go so fast, because we do just fine. Like the turtles and all the life around us, just going along at a normal, decent pace. So we just put out this question: what is this great big alien, fast, brutal thing that comes along and crushes us? We don't get it.
là tôi nghĩ cái chỉ có một thứ là rồi em có thể đi về là cái ta từ cả là cái animal qua lại những cái là cái qua lại này.
And just the path, and behind me are experiences of people, places, things, all sorts of experiences that I are not happening anymore. It's just the past. And the present right now is where we're standing, and everyone here is included in that, and the view and the rain we had last night and the beautiful weather we have here in the greenery. And ahead lies the unknown, which I embrace the unknown, and I see it as opportunity for experiences. Whatever they are, I just love to learn and find out what the experience is going to be.
I I am a coyote. I've always been a jack of all trades, adaptable, but used to be limited to the high plains, few desert locations. Now I live in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. The concrete drainage canals are my super highways. I live in New York City. I live in Boston. I live in Vermont. I never before got within 1,000 miles of Vermont.
Hi, I'm a hummingbird, and my heart beats very quickly, and I do everything very fast. And the last night I spent my night unclosed under a tree away from the rain. And I'm pretty brave. And I've been around, unlike the coyote, I've been all over, I've been everywhere, and for my size especially. I've traveled thousands of miles, and I was concerned after the frost that a lot of my food or a lot of my nectar was not there, and I'm concerned about that, and I want to thank everybody for putting the feeders out. And when I come back, and I stayed close to the feeder last night. And I like to guard it against other hummingbirds. We don't always get along very well together, but we're all looking for food, so I guess that happens sometimes.
I represent stones, rocks. I am a rock. I'm strong and sturdy. And I don't break apart very easily, but I have over time. And I am very sturdy. But I do worry that we will break apart too much. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to speak as a non-human entity? Raise your hand and I'll pass you the talking stick. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to play the drum just a little bit more and invite us to ponder what we've heard from the Council of Beings. And then return to the room as yourself. And anyone who would like to bear witness, then we'll pass the stick around and honor what we've heard as human beings. Welcome back. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I cry for the beauty of the world. Sometimes I cry in joy for the beauty of the world. And sometimes I cry in sorrow for what I see as I go about or read about things that happen in the world. When that happens for me, I have to actually go to resources, purposely go to resources to help myself heal and come back to my full self and why I'm here and why I do what I do and how I live. And I am so inspired by many of the people in this room my resources are many of the people in this room. And I thank you for that. As I hear the peepers and the birds and the wind, and the rivers and the flowers and the dandelions. Yes, we need each other. We need all our creatures. And we need each other to be strong. So are we passing this to the back? Anyone? Yes, this time everyone's included to speak from your human being witness self.
So the inner and the outer.
Yes.
Focusing as we are today on other beings besides humans. And hearing how what we humans are doing and how we affect the planet. Can bring great sorrow. I know that my father was very discouraged at what's happening and did not have much hope for the future. I choose to have hope so that I can act in a way that will make a difference.
Yes. Amen.
I've been listening to everybody and all the creatures and things, and it's like a bountiful feast. But there's a foreshadowing that is dark, that is not good, that is of our doing also. It makes me angry, it makes me sad. We must remain hopeful.
We need to look on talent page. That I do. Like to get that, you know, when I.
Think of our children and our grandchildren and show all of this. Thank you.
No. I'm a kid, I don't behave. I would like to catch that bird.
The birds around my house, I was way faster. We get up every day and look at the sky and look all around and are just enjoy so much our life where we are. And a great part of that enjoyment are the birds. And in our little woodshed now, it's being shared by a robin and a phoebe in the same shed. And I also love the little house friend that's like this big that sits on the clothesline. We have a birdhouse there nearby, and its entire body vibrates when it sings. It's like and stuff. We enjoy the birds especially.
We had a woodchuck move in for about 3 days. And much to my delight, he moved on to greener pasture.
Well, imagination.
Down to the back. You down, do you want to do something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. Especially the last part with the heartbeat and the ectopic beat.
that started in the front was, I felt very disruptive. And then it became like how to disrupt and open my normal rhythm so that long period sadness can get out, light can come in. And thank you. And sometimes we have to disrupt our normal routine in order to heal everything, everybody, every being.
Well, I don't know what everyone said.
Well, sometimes I think about the fact that no form of life on earth has ever refrained from exploiting the entire ecological niche of life available to it. Maybe it's something that none of us have evolved yet.
There certainly is a lot to be sorrowful for, but for me, it's the beauty of the earth that enriches me and gives me life. And I've seen so much of it. The rocks, the willows, the toads, you know, all of the critters, and every path I take, I have to choose. Am I going to delight in the beauty around me, or become, I don't know, there's gotta be a better one, there's gotta be mountains and the birds and the coyotes and the rocks. I mean, the rocks that I've seen, wow. They're powerful and they're steady and strong, and they're also extremely beautiful, especially when the sun touches them at different times of day. The sun and the rivers, oh God, what a beautiful, beautiful earth that we have. And it makes you want to keep it that way.
You're here. Yes, absolutely. And I also choose to look at the beauty. So much. There's so much out there, and all I can do is spread that. Look at it, spread it, and show people that. Yeah. June.
I'll pass on the spoon. I just want to say, since you started, I've been watching the birds sitting on that pole outside. He comes back, he sits and watches us. He's not there right now, but he'll come back. So that's the beauty that I see, is watching the bird, and he's enjoying us. The people can't see it because there's too much light coming in, but on the, what is that pole?
Peace pole.
The peace pole. He's been sitting on that. So he'll come back. Now that I said it, he won't, but he's been, since you started doing the circle, he's been sitting there.
And my Zoom friends, is there anyone who would like to speak as witness for our council before I close? Okay. Thank you. When I have witnessed the Council for All Beings before, there are often times when animals come in the actual ritual time. And sometimes the clouds build up And sometimes the lightning comes, and sometimes thunder. But I want to thank you for participating today. It's been an honor to sit with you and hold this time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Robin, I'm supposed to look here. Robin will bring us a prayer at this time. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Wow. Oh, and just once again, I invite you to turn inward with me, just taking all of the attributes and all of the revelations and insights that have come up through this magnificent, beautiful ceremony. Just breathe it all in. Just take a moment to just breathe it all in. Just breathe in the qualities of the coyote and the birds and the river and the toad and the tree, the willow tree, just moving in the wind. Just take in all of that. Just for a moment. What I know is that there is a power and a presence that surrounds and enfolds and undergirds us moment by moment. And I know that this magnificent, beneficent power, this omnipotent presence, is indeed infinite wisdom and divine intelligence. It's the knower that knows and knows that it knows, for it's omniscient. And all of this power and all of this wisdom is everywhere present. And being everywhere present, I know that it is right where I am. It is right where each and every person within the sound of my voice is. It is within each and every mountain and bird and tree and the desert and the sky and the sun. It's in all of life. And what I know is that this power and this presence is whole, complete, and absolutely perfect. And so I know that it restores itself, it rejuvenates itself. So I know that even as we come together and honor all of this planet, this earth, I know that as we come together in this awareness about each and every aspect of all life, even in this moment, something renews itself. There's a resurrection taking place. There's a rejuvenation taking place through all of life, through the rainforest, through the ecosystem, which is like the lungs of the entire earth. That not only we can breathe, but every animal and plant, all of life is in constant movement and transitioning from glory to greater glory. And I know that as we tap into what is going on the planet, a shift takes place within each and every person on the planet. We're contributing to the earth right now, but just holding this sacred service right now. Something quickens and a new awareness, a consciousness about all of life starts to emerge as never, ever before. And people start to honor and respect and just tap into. There truly is an interconnectivity between all of life. As although the people within the inner circle allowed a part of life to move through them, they were able to feel the movement of the river and the inner feelings of the toad and the coyote and all of the different beings and entities that were spoken about this day. So I know that this entire earth is blessed and a blessing. I know that everything is made new. And I know that as each and every one of us within the sound of my voice just allows spirit to speak to them individually and collectively, that we are guided and directed to honor and become an activist in our own right, whatever that looks like, It may be to hold the high watch, just like that bird on the peace pole held the high watch, I believe, during this entire sacred service. I know that we start to answer the call, that individual call within us. How is Spirit asking us to step up and just show up so God can show out in a magnificent, beneficent way that truly does heal the entire earth and everything and everyone within it. I call forth perfect peace this day, that peace that passes all human understanding, peace in the body temple, peace in the atmosphere. I call for joy, unbounded joy this day, knowing that the joy of God just cannot help but to emanate and sing through the rocks and the rivers and the trees and the wind. I call forth love this day, knowing that as we tap into that love of God, we cannot help but to love the earth and everything within it and each other. And we just witness the abundance and the lavishness of life, moment by moment. And I know that that which we just bask in and acknowledge, all of the love and the joy and all of that which the earth bestows upon us, it just multiplies and multiplies, and we experience it in every area of our life. So what I know is that everything that has taken place here this day just continues to evolve and expand in a most magnificent way. I give thanks for this time together. I give thanks for this ceremony. And I just release this word knowing that it is already done. And we simply allow it to be. And so be it. Amen. Amen. And Ashe.
May we grow into true understanding, a deep understanding that inspires us to protect the tree on which we bloom, and the water, soil, and atmosphere without which we have no existence. May we turn inwards and stumble upon our true roots in the intertwining biology of this exquisite planet. May nourishment and power pulse through these roots and fierce determination to continue the billion-year dance. May love dwell up and burst forth from our hearts.